Good morning. This is a big room. I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much, Congressman, for that very warm introduction. And thank you for the work that you do for us in Washington, D.C. We're really fortunate to have you fighting for us every day, so thank you very much. Thank you as well to Patrick Pierce and Economic Alliance Snohomish County for hosting this great event this morning. It is truly a privilege to be here and share my vision for Everett. As I look around this room, I see a wealth of creativity, experience, and passion for our city, and you are all absolutely inspiring. I want to acknowledge and thank my fellow elected officials who are here today. After just 2 years as a council member and now 3 weeks as mayor, I have an even greater respect for the tremendous commitment and energy it takes to do this job well. I especially want to recognize and thank my Everett City Council members who are here this morning, Council Vice President Scott Bader, Council members Jeff Moore, Scott Murphy, and Judy Toohey, and a special welcome to our newest council member, Ethel McNeil. Thank you for being here. I also want to thank members of our city team who are here today, including my executive team, Chief of Staff Lyle Ryan, as well as Nick Harper, Bob Bolerjack, Jim Isles, and Megan Pembroke. Thank you for being here this morning. Most importantly, I want to thank my husband, David, for being a wonderful partner and father, and for your unending patience over this past year, but always, so thank you as well. It is both an absolute honor and incredibly humbling to take on this leadership role in our community. Throughout my career, I've had a passion for serving others, primarily in the nonprofit world. When I was asked to serve on the Community Streets Initiative Task Force in 2014, I saw firsthand what an important impact public servants can have on their communities. And I also saw an opportunity for me to contribute my skills and experiences and my deep love for our city to help Everett grow and prosper. I am fortunate to follow in the footsteps of incredible city leaders. When I became a council member, I joined a team of dedicated and thoughtful city leaders, and it was a really honor to serve with all of you. This year, I look forward to our continued work together and as we continue to collaborate on behalf of our city. I'm also incredibly fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with Mayor Stephenson while I was on the council and to have had his support and guidance during the transition. Mayor Stephenson leaves such a remarkable and wide-ranging legacy that it's difficult to sum up what his 14 years of service has meant to Everett and what it will mean to future generations. And it's Everett's future that I want to talk about this morning. Our strengths are well known. In Snohomish County, we have more manufacturing jobs than any other county in the state, and we're number 2 in tech-based jobs. Everett is the hub of all that activity. We have an amazing arts and music scene, exciting restaurants, pubs and breweries, beautiful parks and open spaces. And combined with our unique location between Port Gardner Bay and the Snohomish River, there's no better place to live and work. We have incredible opportunities in front of us, and we have a lot of hard work to accomplish all we want to take advantage of those opportunities. This morning, I'd like to share my team's priorities for public safety, economic development, and community engagement, and to preview the directives that will guide our work in 2018 and beyond. Each of these areas contributes to our economic vitality as a city and helps to attract new people and businesses to our region. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge and thank a very special group of people who played a role in shaping my team's short and long-term goals. In December, I asked 55 community leaders to serve on my transition advisory team. I think that's a large transition team for Everett, but it was a great team of people, and they were to provide feedback on Everett's strengths and the opportunities that they want to see us pursue. This team worked together with Andrew and Sandra Ballard from Marketing Solutions, who facilitated their work. We had representation from across the city, from different age groups, income brackets, and industries. And the team provided incredibly valuable input that helped influence the priorities I'll share with you today. So thank you very much for your work over the course of December. Our first priority is public safety. Everett is fortunate to have exceptional police officers and firefighters, and I'd like to ask our chiefs and any first responders in the audience to please stand and be recognized for your service to our community. One of the strong themes of the Transition Advisory Team's work was the importance of fully staffing our police department. I'm very pleased to report that we've made significant progress toward that goal this past year. The department had lost 52 commissioned officers since 2014, largely due to retirements. In response, we've taken several steps to accelerate hiring while still maintaining our high standards, including offering incentives for lateral officers. We hired 16 new officers last year and are down to just 10 vacancies, our lowest vacancy rate since April 2013. Our goal for 2018 is to fill those remaining positions. The department will begin participating in virtual career fairs this spring, offering another platform to engage potential candidates. This month, Everett Police is launching a new data-driven initiative known as ESTAT. This program will allow us to analyze crime, develop responses, and evaluate what we're doing using timely, accurate data. After the initial rollout, we'll expand the work group to include other city teams and help tackle persistent problems throughout our city. In our fire department, my main priority is developing a positive working relationship with our firefighters. These men and women provide exceptional, selfless service to the people of Everett, whether they are responding to a car accident, a heart attack, a house fire. Rebuilding a cooperative, mutually respectful partnership will be vital as we move forward to protect and keep our citizens safe. Chief of Staff Lyle Ryan and I are working with Interim Chief Tim Key and his team to gather data that will help us assess our current fire operations and community needs. We'll use that information and the input of our firefighters to determine where we need to go in terms of deployment. We are making progress to address our public safety challenges, but as we've heard from our community, we still have work ahead of us. We are seeing far too many violent crimes involving teens and young adults, including the murder of 14-year-old David Sandoval last fall, allegedly at the hands of a 13-year-old boy. Any loss of life is heartbreaking, but it's especially painful when the victim is so young. On January 11th, I issued a first directive for our administration focused on reducing this devastating violence and providing positive pathways for youth in our city. There were 219 gang-related offenses reported in Everett in 2017, a 59% increase over 2016. And there were 24 drive-by shootings last year, which was a 167% increase. These numbers are unacceptable. Our response, which will be led by Chief Templeman, balances prevention and intervention programs with targeted proactive enforcement. We will also engage communities affected by gang violence and launch a public education campaign to encourage gun safety. Work is already underway to fulfill the directive, and I look forward to updating you on our progress over this year. Another complex challenge is the visible effects of addiction, mental illness, and homelessness on our streets that Congressman Larson mentioned. As he mentioned, we are not unique. Communities large and small across the country are facing these challenges. And while I share the frustrations of our residents and businesses, I do believe we are ahead of the curve in bringing innovative, collaborative solutions to our community. Yesterday, Catholic Housing Services broke ground on the Safe Streets Supportive Housing Facility. This building will provide homes and around-the-clock support to 65 chronically homeless individuals when it opens next year. Housing is absolutely critical to a person's chance of achieving stability and overcoming addiction, and I'm thrilled to see construction underway and truly appreciate the work of Catholic Housing Services in our community. Other programs launched under the Safe Streets plan are also seeing results. The Everett Police and Community Outreach Enforcement Team, which includes 2 embedded social workers, provided more than 1,300 services last year to those on our streets, everything from ID cards to mental health resources. We sent 27 individuals to out-of-state treatment at no cost to the city through the Police-Assisted Addiction Recovery Initiative. And while I'm encouraged by our initial progress, it's clear we still have more work to do. This week, I will issue a mayoral directive that builds on the programs Everett has already implemented and the partnerships we've developed with our service provider network. We will not solve these problems on our own, and we will have the greatest impact by working collaboratively. Under the first initiative, we'll continue to advocate for more permanent supportive housing options and will support projects being developed by our community partners. At the same time, we must expand our temporary and emergency shelter options. I'm directing staff to work closely with Snohomish County and our current shelter providers to identify potential ways to grow our shelter capacity in Everett and throughout the county. Under our diversion efforts, I've directed staff to explore the possibility of expanding our Safe Streets work crew. Last year, participants picked up more than 11,000 gallons of garbage from our streets and homeless camps, and many of those individuals who were working were then connected with housing and services. This program has been very well received by our businesses, and I believe it could make a visible positive impact on other areas affected by our challenges in this city. For many of the individuals we work with, the next step after housing and treatment is re-entering the workforce. And that's a goal our entire community supports. We will explore the potential for a pilot program that will help promote existing supportive employment opportunities and connect local businesses with individuals who are ready to work. Responding to the opioid epidemic will remain a priority for our city. Our officers have reversed 71 overdoses using naloxone since 2015, and we continue to pursue our lawsuit against Purdue Pharmaceuticals for allowing OxyContin to flood the black market here. But as we respond to the immediate visible effects of addiction on our streets, we must also step up our efforts to stop the disease before it starts. We will continue to partner with Snohomish County and the Snohomish Health District through the multi-agency coordination effort to keep opioids out of our community and to expand prevention and intervention programs. And I want to thank Executive Summers for your leadership in this important work. I've also asked our team to explore how we can expand our pilot program for medication-assisted treatment to connect even more individuals with treatment at the moment they're ready. Under the directive, we'll increase the use of data to evaluate our current programs and will develop tools to track our spending on street-level social issues. This analysis will help us fine-tune our approach as we move forward and give our residents and businesses a better understanding of how our efforts are positively impacting the community. Everyone in our city deserves to feel safe. Achieving that goal will be critical as we encourage new employers and families to make Everett their home. So our next priority is economic development. Everett is truly poised for prosperity. We have all the ingredients we need to promote positive growth and create a vibrant, attractive community. I am thrilled to help lead the charge as we strengthen our economy, bring new jobs and job centers to Everett, and take advantage of the innovative, creative institutions that are the foundations of our city. We have a strong base to grow from and many incredible developments currently underway, and it all begins with our large job centers. The entire Everett community benefits from the jobs and opportunities created by our major employers. From Boeing and the aerospace sector to Providence Regional Medical Center to the waterfront presence of the Port of Everett and Naval Station Everett, these institutions are the bedrock of our economy and a magnet for future growth. Boeing, which broke records for airplanes deliveries last year, began assembly of the 777X in October. The first jets are expected to be delivered in 2020. Boeing, its workers, and their families are an incredible piece of Everett's identity and an inspiring and vital force in our community. Boeing also broke records for giving last year, donating more than $350,000 to local charities and families during the holiday season. Truly, thank you, Boeing, for all you do for our community. Last summer, Funko, another homegrown company, opened its doors on Wetmore to the delight of Everett families and fanatics from around the world. Funko is more than a toy maker. It's a creative powerhouse and the perfect anchor for fun, innovative, community-oriented businesses. The Pops also happen to decorate my office at the city. I'm thrilled that they've decided to invest in our downtown, and I'm really excited to partner with them as they continue to innovate and grow. In August, Seattle Children's Hospital will open a new branch in the Providence campus, adding to our world-class healthcare sector. This new branch will offer more than 15 pediatric subspecialties of care and will be an incredible asset for the city and families throughout our region. We must continue to advocate for and support these institutions and industries to ensure they have the workforce, transportation networks, and resources they need to thrive. When they succeed, we all succeed. We continue to see more positive changes taking place throughout the city. Last month, the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort became the naming sponsor of our event center, where we are today, bringing an infusion of new energy and the chance to attract new and bigger acts to Everett. Our downtown is transforming, and new restaurants and breweries and shops and major attractions are coming every day. Farms and Market on Grand Avenue will celebrate its soft opening in February and expects to announce several exciting tenants very soon. The year-round market will feature a kitchen and deli and provide space for area farmers to sell their produce and other goods. We have new housing and retail options taking shape after being on hold for years during the recession. At the riverfront, 140 homes have already sold and another 42 are pending. At the Port of Everett, construction is beginning on Fisherman's Harbor, the first phase of their Waterfront Place Central development. This district will be a hub of activity with more than 260 apartments, a 142-room hotel with meeting and event space. And our Grand Avenue Park Bridge is currently under construction. That will provide a new way for Everett residents and visitors to connect with waterfront attractions, concerts, shops, and restaurants. And after far too long, one of the missing pieces of our economic landscape is finally nearing reality: commercial air service at Payne Field. United Airlines and Alaska Airlines have both signed on to provide daily flights out of our two-gate terminal now under construction. We expect the first flights to begin before the year is out, and like many of you here today, I hope to be on one of them. Economic development also relies on a quality education system. As the proud mother of an Everett student, I can vouch for the priceless asset we have in our local school districts. Everett School District students outperform the state on assessments in every subject and every grade. Nearly 91% of students graduate in 4 years, and nearly 95% graduate in 5 years. The district also has the highest graduation rate in the state for students who speak a language other than English in the homes. Mukilteo School District boasts equally impressive outcomes and a track record of partnering with nonprofits and service providers to provide community-based programs for our students. The district also hosts the Snow Isle Tech Center, Skills Center, which offers hands-on training for students as they continue their future careers. We are so fortunate to have these two amazing local K through 12 partners achieving remarkable results with our youth here in our city. Under Mayor Stephenson's leadership, we have seen higher education opportunities expand greatly in Everett. Our world-class higher education partners are constantly evolving to respond to the needs and opportunities presented by Everett Industries. Everett Community College is the first college in the state to offer an advanced avionics program, equipping students to maintain, troubleshoot, and repair aircraft electronic systems. And Washington State University at Everett is in its new home on North Broadway and now enrolls about 200 full-time students, nearly 600 for the University Center as a whole. Students can earn degrees in a growing range of programs that are relevant to our region, such as electrical engineering and organic agricultural systems. WSU's Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine welcomed its first class of students this fall, many of whom will spend their third and fourth years training at our healthcare institutions here in Everett. So we will continue to advocate for WSU and support its plans to expand its physical footprint as well as its academic offerings here in our city. While we have a strong foundation to grow from, we also have immediate needs to address to sustain existing job centers and recruit businesses and ideas to Everett. As Boeing considers its new mid-market airplane, I will work tirelessly to make sure that plane is built here in Everett. Without question, there is no better place for Boeing to build. We are the home to the country's biggest aerospace cluster, which accounts for almost half the state's aerospace workforce. We have the suppliers, subcontractors, and transportation networks that Boeing relies on. Most importantly, we have a community that understands Boeing's incredible value and takes immense pride in being at the forefront of the aerospace world. At the same time we are working to retain and support our major employers, we have to be focused on what comes next. One opportunity for growth is entrepreneurs, and I'm very excited about the Innovation Center we are developing in partnership with Snohomish County, the Economic Alliance, Everett Community College, and the Northwest Innovation Resource Center. This Innovation Center will be a hub for entrepreneurs, providing them with co-working space and the resources and mentors they need to turn their ideas into successful businesses. We've received a grant from the Community Economic Revitalization Board to help plan the center, and we've identified potential locations near the community college. So stay tuned for details on this later this spring. And with our region's incredible beauty and strong sense of environmental responsibility, Everett also seems a natural fit to become a leader in sustainable green technologies. At the same time that we work to reduce our city's carbon footprint through our own climate action plan, I will also support the efforts to recruit new businesses and jobs in the emerging clean energy economy. Another opportunity is in the city itself, as Lainey McMullen, our longtime Economic Development Director, will retire in the next months. Lainey has provided tremendous service to our community and has been a champion for Everett for many years and has helped bring exciting new businesses to our downtown core. Lainey, thank you for all you've done for our city. So we will soon begin recruiting for a new Economic Development Director who will work closely with Deputy Mayor Nick Harper and our Planning Director, Alan Giffen, to help us capitalize on the incredible opportunities ahead of us. Today, I'll issue a mayoral directive that builds on our existing programs and takes advantage of this transitional time to realign our staff and strategic plans to help us achieve our economic development goals. We have so much going for us, from incredible schools and colleges to leaders in industry and healthcare to an amazing natural setting. There is no better place to live or start a business. We need a comprehensive, proactive marketing and branding effort that highlights those strengths. My directive establishes an Office of Communications and Marketing under the leadership of Executive Director Megan Pembroke. This team will create and manage our marketing campaigns, including our tourism initiative, and support the economic development team with targeted recruitment and retention campaigns. We will also establish an Office of Community Planning and Economic Development. In the short term, this team will accelerate our efforts to attract and promote more startups and entrepreneurs in Everett, and to recruit new investments in key industrial and commercial properties throughout our city. Commercial air service at Payne Fields opens up a potential for new private investors and family-wage jobs, and I've directed our team to come up with a plan to make the most of those possibilities. We must be actively pursuing and advocating for our long-term priorities, which are in line with those identified by the Transition Advisory Team: transportation and critical infrastructure needs, education and workforce training, and a comprehensive affordable housing strategy. One of our greatest strengths as a community is the passion and expertise of our business leaders, many of you who are here this morning. Under my directive, we'll establish an economic development advisory team of local business leaders, as well as representatives from our city council. The committee will work closely with the city team on economic development initiatives and will provide an avenue for two-way communication with the business community. The final two initiatives in the directive are focused on activating key corridors and business districts within the city. Our planning department is finalizing the Metro Everett plan, which includes innovative strategies and incentives to encourage and guide future growth downtown and near the event center and Everett Station. With City Council's approval of the plan and its components, I will direct city staff to immediately begin implementation. The Metro Everett vision includes developer incentives, tax credits to encourage job growth, and additional market rate housing in our metropolitan center. It also includes strategies to make the district more inviting and attractive to new businesses and residents by addressing vacant properties and creating new paths and destinations. Finally, I've directed the team to take a closer look at key business districts throughout the city, including the College District and North Broadway, Payne Field, Evergreen Way, and Everett Mall. We can do more to support small businesses and share prosperity throughout our city. I believe there are opportunities to apply the tools we've developed during the Metro Everett effort in other parts of the city, including simplifying our regulations to streamline development. Our plans for these areas should consider future opportunities such as transit-oriented development and should help facilitate coordination among stakeholders. So my final immediate priority as mayor is community engagement and inclusion. As a council member, I brought forward a resolution affirming Everett's commitment to ensuring a safe and welcoming community for everyone who lives, works, and visits here. I want to again recognize and thank our city council members who were unanimous in supporting that resolution. Everett is rich in diversity of cultures, experiences, and faith, and I believe we should not only protect and preserve that diversity, but look for ways to include those diverse voices in city's work. In my conversations with community members, both as a candidate and now as mayor, I have been energized by how much our residents care about our city and how much they want to be a part of Everett's success. Our community wants a government that is approachable, transparent, and responsive, and I am committed to delivering on those fronts. I believe that the city, and especially its leaders, has a responsibility to connect with and engage our residents in a meaningful way. What we do is vitally important to their lives, and they deserve an opportunity to ask questions, share concerns, and have a say in how we conduct our work. We have a strong base of engagement to build on, especially when it comes to our community leaders. Our nearly 160 board and commission volunteers invest their time and expertise to serve our city and provide community representation on important projects and programs. For instance, last year, the Board of Park Commissioners worked to update the 6-year Parks Capital Improvement Plan and advise staff on key projects, including the potential YMCA partnership. Planning commissioners provided input on changes and incentives included in the Metro Everett plan. And we also convened the EnvisionEverett Committee, which met throughout early 2017. Members updated Everett's 2005 vision report and set new goals and strategies for the city to pursue. I'm grateful for the contributions of our boards and commissions, and I'm eager to get more people involved, particularly those who are not currently connected to city government. Over the past year, we've stepped up our efforts to diversify our boards and commissions, which often serve as a pipeline to elected office or city employment, and we're seeing initial progress. The 22-member EnvisionEverett Committee had representation from 14 of our 19 neighborhoods. In December, nearly 30 individuals applied for my former city council seat, representing 13 neighborhoods. And this month, we welcomed 8 new members to the Diversity Advisory Board, and I'm excited about the new energy and vision they are bringing to such a critically important area of our work. We've also added new ways for our residents to engage with the city and each other. Last summer, we launched the Community Sparks program, which provides small matching grants for community projects and events. 9 new projects were completed under the inaugural program, including the Snohomish Pride Festival, a historical walking tour, and a wall of kindness dreamed up and put into action by Evergreen Middle School students. These kinds of events and programs generated by creative, community-minded residents cultivate important civic pride and can help us reach people that we're not currently reaching in our city. Last fall, we also launched Everett Essentials, the city's first ever civics academy. 29 Everett residents spent 9 weeks in an intensive hands-on course that gave them behind-the-scenes look at the city services and our programs. The course received very positive feedback from students and city instructors, and we're already seeing how this kind of investment in our community members can pay off. 4 of our graduates were appointed to boards and commissions positions, and several more have stepped up as neighborhood leaders. As mayor, I will continue to support our community leaders and volunteers and recruit new residents to take on these important roles. I'm committed to ensuring that our community members have a voice in what we do, especially when it comes to public safety. This summer, Chief Templeman and I will launch a Chiefs Community Advisory Committee made up of community members and leaders. The group will work with the chief to advise the department on recruiting, training, community outreach, and promoting public awareness of police services and programs. I also believe that our city workforce must reflect the population we serve. Everett is increasingly diverse. In the Everett School District, 88 languages are now spoken in the student's home, and 13% of students are learning to speak English. In the Mukilteo School District, 1 in 5 students is learning to speak English, and 91 different languages are spoken in homes. Currently, nearly 90% of our city employees identify as white, compared to 76% of Everett residents. We have a great opportunity to diversify our workforce and find new and better ways to reach and engage all members of our community. This week, I will issue a mayoral directive on community engagement and inclusion, which will help guide our efforts in this vitally important area. Our first task will be to develop a clearly defined vision for an engaged community. This was a strongly supported recommendation from the Transition Advisory Team and something I've repeatedly heard from residents and neighborhood leaders. With a clear vision for engagement, we can identify the tools and policies we need to support city staff in providing effective outreach and meaningful engagement opportunities for all members of our community. My directive also calls for a plan to improve inclusion and equity at the city and develop a workforce that represents the diverse population we serve. An interdepartmental city team will evaluate our current practices and develop recommendations to make sure the way we recruit, hire, and train is in line with our inclusion and diversity goals. The team will work closely with the Diversity Advisory Board and the Chiefs Community Advisory Committee. And under the directive, we'll also look for ways to increase access to city government. One of the ways we're going to start is by evaluating our facilities and service hours for accessibility and the potential for co-locating related services to provide easy one-stop shopping for residents and businesses. I don't know how you find us all, but we're spread out all over the city, so this is something I'm kind of excited about. We'll also launch a citywide data initiative to make it easier for the public to find and explore the city using data on our website. The directive establishes a second interdepartmental team focused on customer service and complaint resolution. This team will recommend ways to improve how we interact with our community members when they have a question or concern and how we identify and respond to recurring issues. And we'll make sure city employees are engaged and informed about what the city is doing themselves. Our city team members are our best ambassadors to the broader community. Finally, the directive includes a youth engagement initiative to encourage youth participation in boards and commissions and other city programs, and to evaluate a potential citywide internship and apprenticeship program for high school and college students. So, almost there, folks. It's exciting to reflect on the milestones Everett has achieved in the last several years, but it's even more exciting to consider all of the incredible opportunities ahead of us in our future. I believe that leaders are most effective when they have a deep personal connection to the people and places they serve. and I couldn't be more proud to be Everett's mayor. I love the city. Everett is full of creative and compassionate people who recognize its strengths and potential and want to be a part of its success. That's why I moved my family here. That's why I'm excited to raise my daughter here. And that's why I'm so eager to help Everett move forward. So thank you for the chance to share my vision for our city, and thank you all for the passion and energy you invest in our community. We have truly unlimited possibilities ahead of us, and I can't wait to see what we can accomplish together. Thank you.